Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. Thanks for joining the sesh with me, Justin Barone. I hope life's being good to you, and if you're going through a little something, I hope this helps take your mind off it for at least a minute. If you're new to the show, hit follow or subscribe, leave me a comment or a DM. Let me know what you think of the show. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and, if it's your thing, tell me what you're sparking up this week. All right, now you know what time it is. It's time to sesh it up, baby. And, this week, I want to talk about the slang that is flying around, the slang that's being slung around my house. I have no idea what my kids are saying. Not a clue, okay? They string a bunch of nonsensical words together to make a sentence, and the sentence is basically like a twin's language. It's gibberish to everybody else, but for whatever reason, these little monkeys know exactly what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So this week, I'm diving into what exactly all of this slang means, because for months and months, my youngest daughter has been calling me a gyat for, I don't know what that is. I assume it has to do with a fat ass because, she likes to make fun of my fat ass. My son likes to make fun of the fact that I'm bald. And my oldest is kind of like, she'll laugh at it, but she doesn't really, she knows that if she talks shit to me, then dad takes away the car, right? So, she stays away from it. But my two youngest, and my youngest specifically, has been talking a lot of slang terms to me lately. She uses a lot of slang terms. Basically, if she can, she will string together an entire discussion full of slang where anybody over the age of, let's say, 21 has no clue what she's talking about. And she already talks pretty quick, so it sounds like sentences are one word, okay? So I thought this week I better brush up on some of my slang that these kids are using, because I don't know what they're saying. And they're constantly trying to tell me to say things that I'm pretty sure would make me look bad. And, I don't want to be the dad where I just say it and they're like, I want to know what it is so that when they tell me to say it, I can use it against them. That's parenting 101 right there. Never let them get the upper hand. Okay? So, like I said, my youngest has been trying to get me to call myself a gyat lately. And she's been doing this for months, and I refuse, clearly. Now, I thought it was one thing. I'm apparently a little bit wrong, okay? It does have to do with a fat ass, okay? But this is really what it is. So it's an abbreviation for girl, your ass is thick. And goddamn, okay? So I was kind of right, but essentially, okay, my kid is trying to get me to call myself an overly exaggerated hourglass figured lady. I don't like it. I'm not down for it. I get that kids like to have fun, but I am not a lady. I'm not trying to pretend I'm a lady. I'm not trying to put out lady vibes. I'm a man. I want to be a man. So that was the first thing I figured out. I have a whole list of 14 of these slang words, and I didn't just pick the ones that you already know. I picked a few that you might not be aware of or sure of what their meaning is, okay? Because gyat was a big one in our house. 6'7"? 6'7" is huge right now. Now, I thought 6'7" meant mid because it's a 6 and a 7 and it's in kind of the middle of the numbers of 1 to 10, right? Nope. 6'7" is actually slang term with multiple meanings. It was popularized by a rap song and a viral hand gesture and can mean anything from a nonsensical phrase. So, it's just something you say. You could be like, hey, my dog's name's Ralph. And you could be like, 6'7". Yeah, that's what kid. I don't remember having a 6'7" slang situation when I was a kid. I remember, certain slang terms that we use, like fat, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting, They were pretty easy to. Our slang, I feel like, was pretty easy to figure out. This slang, it kind of like perfectly describes the chaotic mind of the generation that's coming up now, right? So 6-7 is nonsensical. Essentially, that's really what it is. It also means like so or I love you. Like English isn't hard enough to to learn. You have to start adding in four different totally individual instances or sayings that you can use this for. So like it means nothing, like I said, or it could be like so, or it could be I love you. How? I know English is messed up, but like these slang terms, how do you have those two different meanings? Anyway, that one was a loop because no one ever my kids actually got mad at that one because it's happening a lot in schools and with teachers and stuff, and so the teachers are starting to use it and now the kids kind of hate it. So I think that's the key, is that as an adult you have to start using their slang against them or just using their slang in general, because then if you use their slang they're more likely to drop the slang, and then when they drop the slang you can move on with life and not listen to these nonsensical sentences. And these kids now, it's not like when we were kids, when you'd say something like funny and the class would just laugh. Now the class erupts like they're at a university football game in the States. The band starts playing, people are jumping out of their seats, waving towels. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. So you got to stop it right before it starts by taking that word or taking that phrase and owning it. The other one I used to get a lot was mewing. My kid was always like, "Can't talk, Dad, mewing." I was like, "What the fuck is this mewing thing?" Now, originally, mewing came from a dentist who said that if you suction your tongue to the roof of your mouth, it pulls in your jawline, so that over time, as you do this, it sort of like redefines your jawline and makes you look a little more, what is it, aesthetic? I don't know. Beautiful? Cheeky? Cheeky? No. It makes you look like you've got a proper jawline if you don't have a proper jawline. Or if you want a tighter jawline. But then it also became, what was it here? It became used for something else. So kids would do that. So they'd put the tongue against the roof of their mouth, suck in their cheeks as a smart ass remark to a teacher. So if a teacher was like, "Hey, Justin, can you tell me, what 10 plus 2 is?" And I didn't really want to answer you, you could do this face. Okay, if you have to be watching this to get this, but you do this face and you run your finger or two fingers along your jawline. So you do the whole model pose from like the 90s and you run your thing, and then you say to the teacher, what do they say? They say, oh, they don't tell me what they actually say, but they just be like, "Sorry, I'm mewing," as like a smart ass remark. And again, kids erupt. Like, what is wrong with these kids of today? They think everything's a freaking party. Says the guy that thinks everything's a freaking party. Right? So we had mewing 6-7, and we had gyat going around my house quite frequently. So then I started looking into more slang terms because I wanted to get ahead of the curve, just like these teachers that are saying 6-7 back to the kids and it shuts them down. Dude, there's so much stuff that kids say. Like, okay, look, here, all right? The ate and left no crumbs. Now, if I told somebody that I ate and left no crumbs, that would mean that I ate something and I didn't make a mess. Okay? For kids now, it's used when somebody does like like if you excel at anything, you ate and left no crumbs. So if you got like a 90 or like a 90 to 100 on a test, you ate and left no crumbs. That means that like you did really, really well. I mean, I kind of get that one, but like, why? You abbreviate some things, like sus, and then you elongate other things. It's so dumb. So then they also just say eat or ate sometimes. And basically what they're saying is that whatever it is like awesome, right? So if they're like, hey, those shoes eat, that means they like your shoes. You know? Like when we were kids, is those shoes are bad, you know? No, not now. Now they eat. It's not that far off, I get it. But like imagine talking to somebody and this is all the words they use. They only use slang, you know? You know how confused you would be? You know, do you have any idea how confused you would fucking be to listening to? Dude, I've stood in my kitchen on my counter just staring off into space trying to figure out what the fuck my kid just said to me. Okay? That's how outlandish these things are. There's beige flag. Now beige flag I kind of like, okay? Cuz the beige flag is the in between. It's like the middle. It's the average of your green and red flags. So if somebody has like green flags where, you know, like, oh, he pays his bills on time and, you know, he's respectful to his mother, or she's like respectful to, you know, everybody around her and she works hard and she's this, like that's a green flag. Those are good, right? You have red flags with like, oh, she texts me 5,000 times a day. Dude, he honked instead of came to the door and picked me up. Like those are your red flags. Like you're more into you than anything else, right? And then you have a beige flag. Like, for example, this is the example I got from axis.org, a parent's guide to teen slang. That's right. I had to look this up, dude. I don't know what my kids are saying. They're speaking a whole different language, okay? So the beige flag, she'd be like, my boyfriend's beige flag is that he always sleeps with his shirt on backwards. So it really has no effect on anything. And it's just kind of, okay, you know? So that one I kind of get. Bussin'. Bussin' means really good. They usually use it for food. My youngest daughter uses it for all kinds of food. My oldest daughter bakes cookies. My youngest daughter takes a cookie, takes a bite, bussin'. If she really likes the cookie, it's bussin', bussin'. She walks away. If you say it twice, that means it's like the ultimate. If you say it once, it's just better, you know? Bussin'. Remember when bussin' or bustin' with a T, not two S's? Remember when that meant like you were busting a move and you were about to break out in a breakdance battle, you know? I don't know how to pronounce this one, and I haven't heard it, but I thought it was crazy because you would hear it and not even know that it was a word. Like you would just think the person screwed up, right? I think it's swaggy, cringy, or awkward, specially used by Gen Z in reference to trends from the early to mid 2000s. I think it's swaggy or chwaggy. I still don't know, dude. I'm a little bit stoned right now. I hope you're stoned. I hope you're enjoying the sesh. Yeah. So these are the things that you need to know that your kids are gonna, you know, start dropping on you, especially if you're a preteen. Good Lord, dude. It's like I should get her to write a book about all the terms that she uses so that I have like a walk around reference guide. It's like going on vacation in my own kitchen. Like if I were to go to Mexico, I would have to have like a little dictionary with me that explains certain words, right? That's what I need with her. She needs to come with like a conversation guide, an index of rules for the conversation because this is all she says. High key means obviously. I want that shirt. It's amazing. Obviously. Like, oh, dude. Sigma. Sigma's been around for a little bit, but I didn't really understand it because I don't pay attention to slang. So Sigma is a term that originally referred to an unbothered male who plays by his own rules. That kind of explains why my daughter kept calling me a Sigma for a while. And then I guess at some point, oh, not an alpha, well, I'm an alpha male, I think. I don't know. I'm a beige male. But it's not supposed to be an alpha male or a beta male, but a sigma male. But now it's expanded to use as filler nonsense words to inject into a phrase. What the sigma? That's what my daughter said all the time. Said it all the time, dude. She'd get in the car. What the sigma? Car would drive in front of us. What the sigma? Dude, it was, that was aggravating. I had to tell her. I outlawed like 3 phrases in my house, okay? Bruh, I fucking hate bruh. Everybody says bruh. Everybody's walking around. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Like, are you kidding me? It was like dude in like 1992. Dude. I remember talking to my buddy, and like him and I were having a conversation. This is in 1992, dude. So, see? So we're talking, and his sister's there because we're at the cottage just hanging out. And she's like, okay, you guys got to stop. You got to stop saying dude. And then once you're told to stop doing it, you can't stop doing it because that's all you're thinking about is the word dude, right? That's like bruh. So bruh is not allowed because then my kids would look at me and be like, I don't want to put my plate away, bruh. And I'd be like, what? That doesn't fly in my house. So that was outlawed. What the Sigma or Sigma was outlawed in my house. And then there was another one, but I can't remember it right now. There's skibbity. Good God, dude. Skibbity's another one that my daughter used that for a bit. It's just a reference to a YouTube series. And yeah, people like my daughter would do that all the time. She'd say like, do you really want me to walk the dog, Skibbity? Like, she drops it into anything, dude. And then Cotton 4K. But Cotton 4K, again, kind of makes sense to me because Cotton 4K is, like, oh, I caught you in real life with receipts. If you don't know what receipts are, receipts proof. It's proof. It's information. So yeah. So these are... Oh, wait, I forgot one. I almost forgot one. Mogging. Remember when a mog was a half man, a half dog in Spaceballs? Well, now mogging is a word. Mogging is trying to one-up someone on an appearance or attractiveness, which I'm sure that John Candy would be happy about and get a kick out of, because my version of a mog is a half man, half dog space dog from Spaceballs. So if a mog is in mogging, mogging, I'm stuck. I got high and the word became stupid. So if it was a mogging, I feel like John Candy would like that because then you're one-upping somebody with your beautiful moggish looks. You know what I'm saying? That was it just caught my eye because, it was like a mog, dude. It's half man, half dog. It's John Candy, Spaceballs. Like, that's memorable. And now you're using it to, refine or define or make fun of or whatever, describe somebody who's one-upping people on appearance and attractiveness. So keep that in mind. So if someone says you're mogging, I don't really know if that's good or bad. I think it's good. So take it for what it is. But yeah, these are the things you have to learn as a parent because your kid is going to say them to you in a string. So maybe save this video for later so that you have a reference guide when you need to look up that little, foreign words in a book and have and then be like, oh, wait, hold on, you called me a what now? Yeah, keep your eye out. Keep your eye out for that happening. So this sesh, I smoked the Liddy Galupa Gulp. It's a good vape cart. It's a hybrid sativa. It tastes like kind of like passion fruit or maybe like guava fruit, something like that. It's a nice like uplifting high. You get a little crash at the end if you smoke too much of it. I think the vape cart itself, because I don't have the package anymore, but I think the vape cart itself was like 91%. I can't remember if there was CBD or anything in it, but yeah, there was. It's good. It's a good taste. It's a good time. You can be relatively social. It'll tickle your fancy. Might make you laugh. It'll definitely entertain you mentally while you go through these lists. These are only a small few. There's 120 that I could find of different things, but most people know the other stuff because it kind of makes sense. These ones were like, what the hell's happening? What's happening to society? You call suspect or a suspect sus, but then you go, what is it? Eating and ate no and left no crumbs. Like, why everybody, you try to shorten everything, and now you're elongating things. Like what? I don't get a young mind anymore. I guess once you hit 40s, and once you hit your 40s, you just kind of like move on from that. But the Liddy Galupa Gulp is a good time when reading this because it'll give you the giggles. You think about all the times your kid said some dumb shit, or you're walking down the street and there's a group of teenagers and they're talking all kinds of nonsense. Like, dude, I don't know. I think it puts it right up there on the one of the most entertaining things to do when you're stoned and you just want to read something. It's a good thing to do. Yeah. Those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. I hope you enjoyed the sesh. I hope you come back next week with me, Justin Barone, on Thoughts Off the Stem. If you're new to the sesh, thanks for following along. Welcome. Glad you stuck around this long. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Follow or subscribe, I should say. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Tell me where you tuned in from, and if it's your thing, let me know what you were sparking up this week. Maybe it'll give me an idea for a new one to do. Don't forget to check out tots420.com. And yeah, those are my thoughts off the stem. Until next time, keep your lids low, baby.